What I would say, though, about 28, and this is maybe new, is like when you look at what Trump is doing, he's creating a lot of tension right now. The ICE raids, the militarization of law enforcement, the war everywhere in Venezuela, Ukraine, Iran, the advance of AI and technology. It's like, if a Democrat wins in 29, I'm moving to another country, because whoever comes into power from the left is going to want blood, because they're going to want vengeance for all. If they regroup, that's sort of presumptuous.
Yeah.
If they regroup and reorganize, they're going to kill us, because like in Chicago, I live right by where this is happening. They set up this detention facility. They're rounding people up, putting hype edits of it on Twitter. It's pissing liberals off. Liberals are going to the place, protesting. The cops are beating the shit out of them and laughing and taunting them. More protesters come. Now they're ramming cars into ICE cars. The cops are shooting them. Now they're bringing in DHS. It's like, we've gone so far up this escalation ladder in like 3 months. And what I fear is that Trump is not going to finish the job. He's not going to salt the earth and destroy Antifa. So all he's doing is pissing these people off.
The escalation that's happening over in Chicago is antagonizing people that are in opposition to what ICE is doing. That was by design. Trump wants those people to be antagonized. He wants to incite some sort of situation between them and ICE. Right? He believes 100% in immigration, but he also wants to incite aggression between protesters and ICE. So he can finally deploy the military. He's going to turn around and say, well, look, they're being violent. I told you guys they were violent. And now we have to deploy the military in order to control them. This is what I theorized. I already knew that this was going to happen. The Texas National Guard is in Chicago, because the Illinois National Guard, the governor, J.B. Pritzker, said, hey, we're not activating our National Guard. They went to a court to fight it. The judge said, hold your horses. Greg Abbott over in Texas said, oh, I don't mind sending my people. J.B. Pritzker said, hey, in good faith, I'm a governor, you're a governor. Please don't send your people up here. Greg Abbott did it anyway, right? Right to Trump's behest. He's one of those people that's a MAGA guy. He's a Republican. He's an ass kisser. He sent the Texas National Guard over to Illinois. And just like Nick Fuentes theorized, I theorized as well that this is all in Trump's plan. He wants to antagonize protesters. He wants to get them riled up. He wants them to act in opposition to ICE. He's been called over and over and over again by basically the puppet masters of Project 2025 to move towards enacting the Insurrection Act. Stephen Miller, he was on, I believe it was CNN. He said the president has plenary power. The president has absolute power. He can do anything. And that was before he tried to pretend like he glitched out, which he didn't. There was no technical difficulty in that speech. There was no technical difficulty that he experienced. Because if you look at the video, you can see that the plants are still moving in the background. The tree that's in the background, the shadow is still moving.
Well, the administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit. I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority. Stephen?
As things get further and further into the Trump administration, they're looking to push more power to the president. They're using his agenda, which he campaigned on, things like immigration, and he's looking to do that stuff, but he's also looking to get more and more power. Trump, he got burned after his first administration, after his first term as president. And he's looking to get revenge, and he's looking to stay in power and enrich himself. Everything that is being done, everything that was in Project 2025 is in order to serve that purpose. It's in order to seize power, get revenge, and get rich. But people like Nick Fuentes think that Trump is not going far enough in the blowback that's going to happen from liberals, from Democrats, once they're back in power, whether that be 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, whenever it is, once they get the opportunity to exact their revenge because of the things that have happened in the first 9 months. That's what you have to remember. It's only been 9 months that Trump has been back in office as the president. And Nick Fuentes thinks because of the things that Trump is doing, and he's not going far enough to quell people like groups like Antifa, because he's not going far enough to quell the groups that are opposing the crackdowns that are happening by ICE over in Chicago, over in DC, over in California. That liberals are going to get back in power and absolutely crush Republicans. They're going to step on all of their rights, their right to freedom of speech, their right to assembly. And looking at the landscape, I don't believe that, because Democrats like to do what I call boxing with gloves. While Republicans are bare knuckle fighting, which is what Trump is doing, he's bulldozing through everybody and everything, through courts, through cities, having National Guards from different states deployed to other states, Illinois, without the governor's consent or request. While Trump is fighting with the gloves off, bare knuckle fighting, the Democrats are continuing to fight with the gloves on. They do it time and time again. So I don't really understand the mindset that Nick has, where it's going to be some sort of revenge tour on the everyday citizen, on the everyday conservative. But what Trump is doing, what he's continued to do, is losing support, not only from people like Nick Fuentes, who abandoned Trump a long time ago when he felt like Donald Trump wasn't going to go as far as he wanted. Donald Trump has also lost people like Joe Rogan, somebody that platformed him, that went and had a multi-hour long conversation with him in order to find out what his agenda was. He took that agenda, started bashing Kamala Harris because she would not come on his platform. And people are saying that's part of the reason why she lost the presidency, right? She wasn't willing to get out there, give her ideas. Trump is also losing the Joe Rogan sphere, as people like to call it. People like Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn, who had the incident where ICE was using one of his videos on Twitter in order to basically advertise their ICE raids. Tim Dillon. All of these people are starting to move away from Trump. The far right and the people that are on the right that are a little more moderate. Not as extreme as Nick Fuentes, not even in a place where Charlie Kirk was. People that are more centrist than anything. A lot of these people, they're not going off of the Christian ideology like Nick Fuentes is or Charlie Kirk was. They're looking at the landscape, seeing the escalation of things through these ICE raids, and they're saying, yo, we got to abandon this. We voted for this guy to make America better, and he doesn't seem to be doing that. The entire sentiment around what Trump is doing only seems to appeal to hardcore MAGA folks. If you're still in that MAGA camp, then everything that Trump is doing still appeals to you. But if you're not in that MAGA camp, if you're a groiper, you're looking at Trump and you're saying, you're not doing enough for me. And if you're more in that moderate to centrist type of thing, center right, where that Rogan sphere is, you're saying, yo, you're doing too much. So the person that comes after Trump, whether it be JD Vance or an entirely new candidate, they're going to have a hard time building off of the legacy that Trump leaves and trying to recapture these bases. These people that were leaning right and voted for Trump in 2024, come 2028, they're not going to vote Republican again.